Hello, this is Sofia with the Path of Empower Love. And on November's light forecast, I said that I was gonna make a video and talk about the energy of resentment and this deeper sense of healing that we are gonna go through, that we are going through, not only in the month of November, but in the next month coming. And we have already like this process of healing. I call it, for me, October was very much healing the underworld, and we have been going through this deep core healing of core woundings, not only in your own personal experience in this lifetime, but also your ancestral and the collective. In a way, we are healing our humanity and the human self sense, the relationship with our humanity at the core level. And so for this month, I wanted to bring a deeper understanding of the energy of resentment and how it's there and what does it mean really? What is kind of the ontological aspect of resentment? Um, Resentment is an energy of um, anger. I really, what's another word? Um, it's an anger that is rage. It almost, yeah, it feels like rage. And the difference between anger that is expressed, resentment is anger that lives in the shadows. It's that part that you don't share, that you hide, and that just as shame stays in the shadow. And that's, in a way, that's how it feeds itself. The resentment, the anger in resentment is the same. It kind of slowly eats your insides away, and the way that happens is that one chooses to hold on to this anger because there's a belief that if I hold to this anger, the person that hurt me is gonna pay. So there's a belief system and an idea that me holding this pain and this energy of my pain and this anger, me holding to it, is gonna somehow bring justice to the person that you see that caused you pain, that it was in a way unjust. And so, in the energy of resentment, there's always um, a promise and an agreement that could have said, that could be an agreement that is, verbally said, or an agreement that it was assumed, such as, I find that there's a common one is resentment towards parents, because there's an unsaid agreement about how a mother should be or how a father should be, and what that entails, how a mother should take care or a father should take care of the child and be with the child. So kind of these relationships, these agreements, certain agreements that can be verbally spoken, and some, I'm speaking about agreements that they're unspoken. In this agreement is the injustice comes forth because there is something that you deserved that you were negated of, such as the love of the mother, a mother or a dad, or the proper care of a mother and a dad. And so that's the story that one creates about that expectation, agreement, and promise creates a story, and that story stays hidden in the underworld that keeps alive the energy of the pain, the anger, in a way that creates the structure of resentment to stay alive within you. So a really big piece here is in resentment is bringing forgiveness. And so what I was sharing on the November live forecast, that if you haven't watched it, I invite you to watch it, is that there's this sense that I bring the energy of how I see it from the spring water. The spring water is rainwater that have fallen maybe millions of years ago, and it fall into the earth, into all the deep layers of the earth, and begins to run through the underground water channels and rivers for millions of years. And so the water is there in the womb of the earth, and there's a moment in life that nobody really knows. There's kind of a mystery that there's a pressure change and gravity changes where the water surfaces as spring water that is one of the purest and cleanest water. It's been there for millions and millions of years through the rocks that contains high amounts of trace minerals. And also, besides the minerals, it contains deep, rich information of light codes because of all the information that has been gathered through the womb of the earth. So there's that was the image that I was coming, that there's this healing surfacing that is really, really deep, at a deep level. It's, you know, in the underground, in the underworld, in those deep layers of the earth, within your human experience, your human psyche and consciousness as well. All that which felt broken beyond repair, there's a sense that, and a new hope and a new emotion where that which felt unbroken and beyond broken and beyond repair is coming to a place of repair and reconnection as again. And so the other piece about is that in the energy of resentment, there's a sense of impotence, that you're not able to change what is happening. You feel powerless in a sense that whatever happened to you, there's somebody that is responsible about it. And the expectation that you had wasn't given to you in the way it didn't happen, and the agreement didn't happen. And yet there's a place where it doesn't matter what that person that you're assigning responsibility to does. This is beyond repair. The pain that you have gone through is beyond repair. So in that sense, the impotence grows, and it's alive, because really impotence is that whatever happened, you can't change it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So in that story, that somebody, you're placing responsibility to somebody, and that somebody, it doesn't matter what it does, it can't repair the pain that caused you, then it doesn't matter what it does, then that's it, right? So there's also no place for healing, because there's no place for change, a shift of energy. And so the first steps of acceptance and peace that I wanted to share is accepting and being at peace with the possibilities that that were close to us, that we didn't get and didn't receive. And so coming to another space of peace when you accept the losses, and that when you accept that certain losses were beyond your control, and they didn't depended on you, they depended on another. Accepting that there's some things that you can change, that your past is in the past and you can't change the past. What you can do and what is available to you is how you respond here right now in this present moment. And once you declare that the past is in the past, you're almost setting the energy that not to keep looping into it. And sometimes that requires practice, just coming back to that constant practice of forgiveness, especially if it's something, an experience that was very painful to you and that you've been holding on to that for very, very, very long. You might have to, I'll show this. I remember I had a teacher that, was showing me the ease of letting go of something that is like you're holding on to this cup. Imagine this cup is your pain that you've been holding on since, you were 5 years old, and all of a sudden you're awakening to all of this information and you say, you know what, I don't want to be holding on to this pain anymore. And it's as easy as putting the cup down on the table, and now you have your hands empty. You're open to receive, you're open to new possibilities. But the fact of this openness feels vulnerable, feels different in your body, in your experience. And so there are going to be times where maybe something happens and you're going to want to hold the cup again, because that's the way that you have been comfortable. You've been living in this way for many, many years. And so the practice is going to be to put the cup back again and be here with yourself. And so what new structures of support and new structures of belief systems, practice of forgiveness, practice about boundaries, practice about compassion, you'll have to set for yourself in order to and forgiveness in order to continue moving through that journey of healing. And I know that sometimes we want to be like, oh my God, I'm healed, or oh my God, I just had this mystical experience. And sometimes that happens. It's like 1 second, you had a mystical transcendent experience. But in truth is that it's very gradual, and it's, sometimes we want it to be like fireworks, and sometimes it's very, very subtle, because there's the energies of spirit, of your source, are subtle energies. And that's why it's about quieting the mind and sitting in meditation and contemplation to be in tune to those subtle energies. And that's the journey that we're doing. So one thing that I want to say is that all this information, I know it's a lot, and it's going to help you to activate the healing and the understanding, to open the veil of to see beyond what you felt maybe perhaps was impossible to do. By receiving this deeper understanding, you'll be able to see glimpses of light at the end of the tunnel. So don't push it, just trust the river flow, and trust that spring water, that it's really doing its work. Invite the energy of love through you, because you'll be amazed what the energy of love is capable of. It really, really brings magic to the experience of healing, because naturally the energy of love unifies, as I said, and brings harmony. So I keep repeating this because I feel it's very important to say that there's a time when the energy it's continue to rise in speed. So in a way expand, and in a way deepen our connection to life and consciousness itself, and that awareness of consciousness. And as it rises, because the earth is rising and we are part of the living body of the earth, we're rising with her. And so there's certain things that they're just gonna drop, just like the trees fall down on during fall of the tree branches. Is the same thing. There's certain beliefs, certain emotional states that you have been accustomed to, that they're just gonna fall down. And all is about trusting your process and continue your spiritual journey. And hopefully, I really believe we're going through this healing of the spiritual practice of disconnection with one another, of power over instead of collaboration and cooperating, and knowing that we are giving life to one another, that your life is as important as any other lives, and that we're interdependent with one another, and that your life is not only this life, your name, your roles, your status. Your life and your mission is larger than this life. It's larger than this lifetime. It goes beyond your lifetime. So I really hope that supported you. I really wanted to bring this forward. Um, and I send you a big hug. If this is something that you want to work on and you feel intrigued and interested to kind of dive in and have somebody to support you in this journey, you have my website and underneath. Just I invite you to have a look. And this is kind of type of the work that I do in my coaching practice. So I invite you to have a look. You can also message me and we can book a meet and greet and just have a 20 minutes connection to just see if we are a good fit for each other. So I send you a big hug. Bye bye.